There is a moment in every life where the mirror becomes more than glass. It becomes a courtroom, a battlefield, a confessional. And in that moment, as your reflection stares back with questions your excuses can no longer answer, you must decide. Will you continue chasing shadows of success? Or will you finally create it from within? Most people live in pursuit, running after titles, chasing praise, scavenging for approval like beggars of validation. They race from job to job, strategy to strategy, praying success will one day stumble into their laps. But what they don't realize is this: success doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to design. You were not made to chase. You were born to create. You were built in the image of visionaries, innovators, builders of destiny, not imitators of trends. Look back through history. The giants who shaped the world didn't wait for doors to open. They carved doors into mountains. They didn't ask permission. They made decisions. Thomas Edison didn't wait for someone to grant him greatness. He failed over 1,000 times and still showed up to the lab as if his name had already been etched into legacy. Why? Because he wasn't chasing success. He was creating it through relentless commitment, through the sacred, silent ritual of showing up. That's what the world never tells you. That success isn't an event, it's a rhythm. It's the heartbeat behind every early morning, every journal entry, every setback faced with your spine straight and your soul unshaken. It's the invisible infrastructure you build in the dark, when no one is watching but destiny is recording. To create success, you must first master the mind. Not the marketplace, not the metrics, the mind. Because the battlefield is internal, before it ever becomes external. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be too. Clarity is the cornerstone of creation. Without it, you're not designing a life, you're surviving a pattern. Your mind is a garden, every belief is a seed. Most people water doubt, they irrigate fear, and then they wonder why their harvest is small. But you are here for something greater. So, rip out the weeds, plant vision, speak rain, you do not hope for growth. You design the ecosystem in which success has no choice but to bloom. What does that take? Boldness. The kind of boldness Carnegie had when he turned steel into empires. The kind Ford had when he saw cars on every street while others only saw horses. The kind Disney had when he stared at swampland and envisioned castles. These men were not chasing outcomes, they were embodying belief. Long before the results, they carried the rhythm of victory in their bones. You have that rhythm too. It's buried beneath excuses, distractions, and the noise of other people's opinions. But it's there. It's waiting for you to silence the world and listen inward. Success begins in silence, in solitude, in the decision to rise, even when applause is absent. Because true creators don't build for recognition, they build from revelation. They act from alignment, not attention. Your mission is not to be seen. It is to see the life that only you can architect, to see your potential as a responsibility, not a fantasy. And then, brick by brick, morning by morning, you construct the reality your soul already knows is possible. Discipline is your scaffolding. Without it, your dreams collapse under the weight of inconsistency. Vision is fragile without structure. Motivation fades, emotion lies. But discipline is loyal. It shows up when you're tired. It works while you're uncertain. It whispers, one more rep, one more page, one more hour, until that repetition becomes revelation. This is why the mediocre stay stuck. They wait for inspiration, but creators, they build it. They don't feel like writing, they write. They don't feel like building, they build. They don't feel ready, they move anyway. Because the truth is, action does not come after clarity. Clarity comes after action. You can't think your way into greatness. You must move your way into it. You must act in the direction of your values, even when the feelings don't follow. That's what separates the amateur from the artist, the talker from the titan. The ones who create success don't negotiate with fear. They partner with vision. And vision, when held long enough, when nurtured daily through habits and choices, begins to manifest in the physical. Your subconscious mind is not a passive observer. It is an architect. Feed it uncertainty, and it builds chaos. Feed it belief, and it builds momentum. Feed it purpose, and it will summon opportunity. So you must protect your inputs. Guard your morning like a fortress. Review your goals with reverence. Visualize the outcome with precision. Don't start your day scrolling. Start it sculpting. Don't let other people's agendas hijack your intention. You are not a responder. You are a designer. Do you understand the difference? Responders react to life. Designers direct it. Responders complain about conditions. Designers create conditions. One lives by default, the other lives by design. And design is a spiritual act. It says, I will not drift. I will define. I will not wait. I will wake. I will not hope. I will build. That is your charge. That is your calling. Not to chase success like a ghost you can never touch, but to awaken the creator within you. The one who doesn't beg for permission. The one who walks into each morning like it's sacred. The one who knows that nothing outside can give you what you haven't already claimed within. Because here's what the world won't admit. Success is not something you find. It's something you forge. Like iron shaped in fire, your destiny is not delivered. It is demanded, not from others, but from yourself. You don't stumble into greatness. You decide your way into it. You decide every morning to rise with intention instead of inertia. You decide to turn off the noise, the gossip, the opinions, and tune into the whisper that's been there since the beginning. You were made for more than surviving, more than scrolling, more than pretending to be busy while avoiding your true calling. You were not born to drift through life with lukewarm habits and vague dreams. You were born to build, to become, to stand tall in the chaos and say, this is who I am. This is what I will create. And don't let the quiet of progress fool you. The world may not clap when you meditate at 5 a.m. It won't trend when you journal your purpose or walk away from distractions. No one will applaud when you decline invitations that don't align with your goals. But listen to me, that silence, that discipline, that's sacred. That's where your power is multiplying in the dark, building momentum in silence. Because you don't create success in the spotlight. You create it in the shadows when no one is watching, but you are still choosing to be excellent. Excellence is not an act, it's a lifestyle. And the people who embody it don't need cameras to commit. They don't wait for praise to persist. They understand that every small choice, every workout done in exhaustion, every distraction resisted, every moment of focus when chaos screams, is a brick in the empire they are quietly building. Let others chase the spotlight. Let them post every move, prove every point, flex every win. But you are not chasing, you are cultivating. You are creating roots so deep they can weather any storm. You are laying foundations that fame cannot fake. And let me be clear, there will be storms. There will be days when doubt whispers louder than belief. There will be setbacks, delays, betrayals. And when they come, most people fold. They give up because their dream was borrowed, not owned. But you are different. You own your dream. You've built it from the inside out. So when adversity knocks, you don't collapse. You recenter. You return to the vision. You reignite your discipline. You remind yourself that the creator's path is not paved with ease, but with endurance. Resilience is the signature of those who create. It's the mark of every great leader, every trailblazer, every name etched in the walls of history. Abraham Lincoln endured defeat after defeat, yet rose to unify a nation. Why? Because the purpose inside him was louder than the pain outside him. That's what separates dreamers from doers. Doers refuse to let fear interrupt their mission. They don't need certainty. They just need conviction. And you don't get conviction from the outside. You earn it through alignment, by living a life so true to your purpose that nothing can pull you from it. Not failure, not rejection, not time. Because success doesn't come when it's convenient. It comes when you refuse to stop, when you stay in motion, when you show up tired, uncertain, uncomfortable, and still do the work. That's how momentum is born, not in motivation but in movement. You don't wait for the feeling, you create the fire. And once you create that fire, it burns through every excuse, it silences every doubt, it melts every limitation. That fire, it's already inside you. It was placed there the moment you had the first whisper of purpose. That moment when you saw the life you could live. That version of you still exists, waiting for you to stop chasing and start becoming. Because becoming isn't a future event, it's a present decision, a daily one. It's choosing to align your actions with your highest values. It's asking yourself in every moment, does this move me closer or further from the person I was created to be? When you ask that question honestly, your path becomes clear. You'll stop settling for average conversations, average habits, average people. You'll stop tolerating the versions of yourself that play small to keep others comfortable. You'll stop running from discomfort and start running through it. Not because it's easy, but because you were never meant for easy. You were meant for impact. And impact requires weight. It requires resistance. It requires responsibility. But that's where your power lives. In the parts of your life you stop outsourcing and start owning. Own your time, own your energy, own your vision, own your outcome. When you take full ownership, you stop blaming, you stop waiting, and you start building. And slowly, what you once chased, success, purpose, legacy, begins to chase you. Not because you were lucky, but because you became the kind of person who attracts it. Because the truth is, success isn't something you arrive at. It's something you carry, in how you breathe, in how you think, in how you show up when no one is clapping, no one is watching, and nothing seems to be working. Yet you move forward anyway. That's not motivation. That's identity. You are not chasing a title. You are becoming a standard. And the people who build standards don't chase comfort. They chase clarity. They don't ask, what's easy? They ask, what's aligned? They live like architects, not addicts. Architects design their future. Addicts wait for dopamine. One leaves a legacy, the other leaves a loop. So many are trapped in the loop, scrolling, wishing, starting and stopping. But not you. You're not here to loop, you're here to lead. That means your habits must be holy. Your words must be intentional. Your mornings must be sacred. That first hour of the day. It's not just routine, it's ritual. It's where you speak life into your mind. Where you build the world before the world builds you. Think of Carnegie, think of Edison, think of Disney. They didn't wake up hoping for motivation. They woke up with mission. They didn't see the morning as just the start of another day. They saw it as the foundation of their empire. You don't rise with the sun, you rise with a reason, and once you rise, you act. Because thinking is useless without execution. Plans are powerless without pursuit. You can read every book, visualize every outcome. But until your feet hit the ground and your hands get dirty, success remains a concept, not a creation. Execution is where dreams become data, where ideas become reality, where your life shifts from someday to now. You will not be remembered for what you hoped for. You will be remembered for what you built. And building takes boldness. Not just boldness to start, boldness to continue when the emotion fades and the excitement dies, because let's be honest, you won't always feel like it. But your feelings are not your master. Your mission is. Winners don't feel their way into consistency. They commit their way into it. They build systems that work when motivation won't. They train their environment, their calendar, and their mindset to work in harmony. Not just for performance, but for purpose. And what is that purpose? It's bigger than the car, the house, the applause. It's about who you become in the process. It's about becoming the kind of person who could lose everything and rebuild, because what you carry inside cannot be taken. That's why your success must be internal first. External success is always at the mercy of the world. Internal success is invincible. Build the inner world. The focus, the resilience, the clarity, the hunger, and the outer world will follow. But ignore the inner, and you'll build a castle on sand. When life hits, and it will, the question won't be, what do I have? It will be, who am I without it? And if you can answer that with strength, with certainty, with identity, then you've created something real, something unshakable. That's the difference between chasing success and becoming success. Chasers run toward results. Creators embody the process. Chasers ask, when will it happen? Creators ask, how will I show up today? Chasers exhaust themselves in pursuit. Creators energize themselves in purpose. And that purpose, it's not found, it's remembered, it's awakened in stillness, in reflection. In the moments you stop trying to prove and start trying to align, you don't need 100 new strategies. You need one decision. I will live in alignment with who I was designed to be. Not occasionally, but relentlessly. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you want to become. Every small decision compounds into destiny. Every time you say yes to focus and no to comfort, you are casting a vote for the you that will make history. So stop waiting. Stop watching others live the life you were born to lead. Stop chasing what you were meant to create. The future isn't out there. Isn't. It's in here. It's in your habits, in your mindset, in your courage, in your consistency. In the quiet power of waking up one more time and then saying, I don't chase success, I create it. And once you realize that, once it becomes bone deep, truth that you were never meant to chase what's already inside you, everything changes. You stop outsourcing your worth to what they think. You stop measuring your value in likes, in followers, in paychecks, in praise, because those things, they're echoes, reflections of a reality you've already built inside. They come after, never before. Success does not precede self-worth. It follows it. The moment you start walking like you already are, who you're becoming, the world starts rearranging itself around your energy. Doors open, people notice. But you don't build your identity on that attention. You stay rooted, anchored in purpose. Because attention fades, but alignment lasts. Let the others chase trends. Let them shape-shift to fit the algorithm. You move in rhythm with truth. You do the work that calls you. You say no when it's not aligned. You say yes even when it's terrifying. And that's the paradox. The ones who look like they're running the slowest often build the deepest roots. And those roots, they're what hold empires. So plant deep, be patient, show up. Stack your days like bricks. Every rep, every hard decision, every sacrifice no one sees, every moment of faith in the middle of the unknown. It's building something no storm can shake, because storms will come. Your discipline will be tested. Your belief will be bent. You'll look around and feel like others are winning faster, louder, easier. But hear me, what they build fast often fades fast. But what you build slow, what you build intentionally, faithfully, silently, that endures. Success isn't for the loudest. It's for the most consistent. And consistency isn't sexy. It's not glamorous. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep. Saying no to what feels good now for what builds something eternal. It's being misunderstood, ignored, even mocked. But doing it anyway. Because you don't need the world to believe in you. You believe in you. And belief, real, unshakable. Belief doesn't come from shouting affirmations. It comes from alignment, from earning your own trust every single day. That's why your word matters. Not just to others, to yourself. You say you'll do it? Do it. You say you're building a legacy? Then build it in your habits, in your calendar, in your attitude, in your rest, in your presence, in the way you treat people when no one's watching. Success isn't an image, it's an integrity. Do you keep promises to yourself when it's hard? Do you stand in truth when it costs you something? Do you honor the calling even when no one claps? Because if you can answer yes, not perfectly but increasingly, then you are no longer chasing success, you are becoming it. And that right there is the shift that transforms everything. You stop trying to get what you think success is. You realize success is not a destination. It's a standard, a spirit, a vibration, a way of moving through the world with conviction, with fire, with unstoppable clarity. You don't just want to achieve, you want to embody. You don't just want results, you want resonance, a life that vibrates with purpose and power and peace. That only comes from within. So stop running after the version of you think the world wants to see, and start building the version of you that only you can create. Because once you do, once you stop chasing and start creating, you won't need to scream, the world will feel you coming. Success was never a chase, it was a choice, one you make every day, in your habits, your mindset, your vision. So if this message stirred something in you, don't let it fade. Take action. Share this with someone who's lost in the pursuit. Comment below what you're building from today forward. And if you felt this, subscribe. Because this channel isn't just about motivation. It's about transformation, one bold decision at a time.